Johnny Fontana, Half Amazing TV, back with another video.
See, I was just about to ask you what makes a good DJ set.
That's the thing too. Like sometimes, man, like I don't knock what nobody doing. Get your paper and do your thing. But sometimes a lot of dudes, when they run their mouth, and their talent ain't as big as their mouth, or their talent ain't as big as they make themselves seem, then it becomes a little bit of an issue when you go see them. Like you expect this certain thing at this party or at this show. It doesn't matter. It ain't really a DJ. It could be anybody. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we in a time where it's social media, so you can say whatever you want out your mouth and people believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I could be talking to you about something right now. Somebody over here videotape it and then throw it on YouTube and word it the way they want, and it's wrong. Just because you look at it, you see it. And you believe it. So that's what it is. The talent always going to speak more than what you say out of your mouth. You can talk all day, you know what I'm saying? But when you go and you get on that stage, that's where the power's at. And that's what's going to keep you moving. That's what's going to keep you set. I was just telling somebody this today.
Following, I keep saying following. Following is very important, man. Like, I play uptown, I play in Jersey, I play in Brooklyn and Queens. Rarely do I play downtown, but guess what? Those people, they follow me, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I can charge what I can charge. That's why I can move around the way I move around.
I was at Oasis with the last time you were at
the pool party.
What? They love you. It's crazy.
And that's the beauty. When you have a foundation of following, and once again, you don't create that with a couple of posts on a gram and being at the hot club. You don't create that. No, that comes with years of nonstop, feeding the people. The people just following you on the gram, following your music, following nightclubs, making their birthdays so special that, oh my God, I partied my birthday with Camilo last year, and we need to do it this year. Where you at? Where you at? That's a following, I think, it's easier to talk. People go to Marquee to party at Marquee. They're not there for the DJ most of the time. That goes with One Oak, that goes with Up and Down. They're rarely there for the DJ. They're there for the party, for what it is.
I completely agree.
It's called work mode. Everybody's work. All the time we work. You want to be a DJ, you got to work. You to be able to maintain longevity in a career and stay hot, it's hard. It's not easy. You got to be up on everything. You got to move. You got to work. I think basically I work hard on anything I do, whether it's DJing, whether it's a nightclub, whether it's a radio show, whether it's my 3 restaurants. My strongest point is definitely nightclub, club rocking. Back in 2005, we was doing Exit nightclub, 3,000 people, Daddy Yankee, Camilo on a set, movie. That opened the doors for that whole new wave. You know what I'm saying?
That's something that you're really proud of, like to present.
Oh, 100%. I mean, me growing up in New York, obviously, I'm Latin, and my crowd, the people that follow me, loyal. That's the thing nowadays with DJs having a following. A lot of DJs don't have followings. You know what I'm saying? I created that hub that follows me, and they always been Latin.
Today's going to be a quick one. And today we're going to mix Sam Divine's live at Defected Croatia 2019 mix, right? Now, this is not about undermining females or anything like that, so don't even go there. However, I'm into this new phase of we have a lot of DJs who are big time, who are hitting the main stage and all that. And I want to do 2 things, right? Demonstrate what I've been teaching, in terms of how a lot of DJs go up and down. They don't understand tempo, as I did with my previous video, the art of tempo mixing, right? Keeping things aligned, not only with the tempo, but also with the groove and also with the texture, right? So if it's a classic track, you don't want to go from that high classic to a noner. You want to at least keep it something, or at least keep the momentum. At least there has to be some kind of continuity, right? You cannot just go up and down. We've talked about that.
Came in there. When I play in Miami, a lot of the times are big weekends and have a big New York following. So I'm looking at the crowd, what I do. Boom, New York, boom, New York, boom, New York. Oh, uptown. Oh, okay, this is in here. So, I did my little set. Then I hit them with some Latin. Party, rocking. everybody feeling the vibe. And went back to hip hop. Then at the end of the night, I got the heat like, yo, that's not what we do here, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, I'm playing for the crowd, man. But that's what makes me who I am. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, I got to play for what I do.
Well, you have no fear of, so when the GM is walking through the crowd, right, and he hears you play one song from left field, gets pissed off, puts me in a group text with 19 other guys that are like running the show, who booked this guy, You have no fear of that anymore, do you?
I mean, where I'm at in my career now, I don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
I might not play in a lot of places nowadays because of that. It's very possible. But, people that hire me know what they hire me for. Like, you getting Camilo, it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm a hip-hop DJ, but that's not all we do. And, do I have a Latin following? This is what we're giving them.
You got to play for the crowd. You can't play for the club at the end of the day.
Right.
But also, it's something else that I want to discuss, in that a lot of these big-time DJs who are actually producers, but who just DJ in order to showcase their production, they aren't exactly the best to have in your club settings, right? And for the DJ watching this, it's like, dude, like, we are the ones who make this, right? We are the backbone of the industry. Like, these bedroom DJs, those who are not really gigging because we don't have like a whole lot of followers, right? The conversation is being had, not on a big level, but it's being had. You know why?
But when we started booking Fabric, we booked in a different way. We booked what we believed in, what we loved, and what we was passionate about. Now, when you look at a new artist now, the questions you're going to ask is, how much you're going to charge, and what's your social media stats? And if anyone thinks that's the right way, they're wrong. But it's the way you've got to do it now, because everything is being driven by stats, data, and numbers, and it's becoming automated and robotic. And as a young artist or a new artist, you've got every chance of going out to find a promoter that really loves what you're doing and is going to get behind you. Now, you've just got to put all this fictitious, illusionary furniture around you to if you like, to demonstrate that case. Now I've got so many followers on Instagram, and what we want to know about is what's the music you're playing, and is it great? And that's what we need to get back to. But it's a synthetic part of the system as well, because a lot of those followers and things, it can be generated in a multitude of ways, and it has very little relevance or relativity towards the quality of what you're doing as an artist.
But do you think the danger of the social media is the erosion of the middle tier? Because we speak to customers, and because the cost of going into a club now is so high, the cost of a night out, especially in London, your taxis, you add it all together, you're right, it's 200-300 quid for a night out. If you want a perceived guaranteed good night out, you're going to take less risks. So that it feeds the same cycle of, I want to see a headliner because I perceive that as a guaranteed good night out. I'm not, when it was a £5 and a £10 and 15, you take a risk. I want to check out this new DJ because it didn't really hit you in the pocket. I think now, because the middle tier don't have the social media, they can't get the fan base, that then people take less risk in discovering them. And that's the danger. My favourite DJs are the middle tier lot. They're the best ones out there for me. They're the ones that take a risk. They're the ones that give good sets. But yeah, the danger is, I just don't think because of the cost of it, people will not take the chance to go and see them. And that's due to social media.
And it's the promoter's job to promote, not the artists themselves, through their social media channels. I know it works, and I know it's good, but as I say, it's creating a synthetic...
Nicholas Matar from Output, which recently closed. I think Keith summed it up quite well in his keynote speech. I mean, that pretty much explained why we voluntarily decided to close the club. In regards to this discussion about this middle tier talent that once upon a time was 1,000, now they're 4,000 or 5,000, and they don't generate ticket sales. I think as a result of this, a lot of promoters now have stopped booking these middle DJs, and instead they would rather have a local artist for $300 to $500 who will bring more people.
Hi guys, Cave Burke from House of Yes, a nightclub in Brooklyn, and exactly what Nicholas said. This is the only way that House of Yes could survive, and we learned this 3 years ago when we opened, that we could not sell tickets with these middle tier DJs. We booked our local friends and we called.
So you see what I'm saying to you? Like, clubs are closing. And we're trying to figure out why, because these second tier DJs are asking for these astronomical fees. They're not being, the lower tier DJs like you and I, because I consider myself one. We're not being groomed. We're not being sought after because we don't have the numbers, right? Even though I know a whole lot of people, right? Mostly in Europe, right? I'm not there, but even the ones in Europe, I know a lot of producers who are just making music after music after music, but they're not getting the recognition because they're not traveling, because they're not making the kind of music that's supposed to be, right? And they're not on the big radios. And obviously it all has to do with who you know, where you are, being at the right time and right place at the right time. But we're going to critique this mix, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to play out a mix using one of the songs, a classic track. And I'm going to show you how to keep that party going, all right? So let's go ahead and start with this. All right, so she's in Croatia, she's doing her thing, right? She got this track coming along. Now we're gonna move it along a little bit. All right. There's a track coming in. It's a very classic track. It's Rosa Nova by Hannah Heiss, remixed by Sergio Flores in 2010, but it came out before in 2005. It's a classic track. Classic track. Fine, I get it. But you can tell it should start to drag now. And she's not using any distractions, which I'll show you in my tutorial. Now she throws in the acapella, which is a distractor. And sometimes, okay, I've given her the benefit. Sometimes you just gotta throw in random stuff. It's not really on point, but okay, fine. It's not always gonna be on point.
I'm gonna tell you about this thing called house music. Like my boy Eddie told you, it's a spiritual thing. Yes, it is. But I'm here to tell you more of what house music means.
All right, fine, we're going.
House music is a healer when you don't feel good inside. House music is a joy. Yes, it is. When your heart feels bad. House music is something that picks you up when you're feeling down. Yes, it is. And can't nobody steal your joy on the dance floor once the music takes over you.
All right. So it's in there. The acapella was cut out a little bit. All right, fine. Like, we're not nitpicking. Remember, because when you're on a fly, it's not always going to be perfect. That's not what I'm talking about. So now we're going to move it along. All right. So now she's moving from that to another song, right? Remember, this is Sam Divine, one of the great personalities who represents Defected, right? She's on the radio shows and all that stuff. She's live, main stage, Defected, Croatia. I'm just saying, bro. And a lot of cats be like, yo, who are you to like critique Sam Divine? Dude, I'm Johnny Fontana. What do you think this is? You know what I mean? Now, again, there's nothing wrong with the mix. It goes. It's good. It's fine. It's on tempo. But just listen. It's just dragging on. And you went from this to like a disco to a classic. You were elevating. Now you're going back down, right? So the mood, and you're on main stage. So you can't be like, oh, well, the crowd wasn't reacting. Dude, you're on main stage. It's not like you can't read the crowd anyway. And it's just dragging and dragging and dragging and dragging and dragging. Just dragging, it's dragging, it's dragging. Now people will be like, yo, like, what's wrong with this? Like, it goes, it's perfect.
Defected Croatia 2019. Sam Divine. One time. Let's go.
All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take that track, that Rosa Nova track, and I'm going to mix it to another track, all right? And I'm going to keep the tempo, and I'm going to do 2 or 3 tracks along with that, so you can see how I'm keeping that tempo, that groove, that classic, that vibe alive, okay? Especially when it's a big track like that. It's not a big room, sort of like progressive, but it's a very clubby, clubhouse, big sort of style, right? So it requires a lot of energy to back it up. You can't just go from that to just a noner and to bring down the energy, right? So, all right, so now everything's set up, camera, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and do an authenticity check. All right, we're moving on, right? keep that loop at that bass. Distractor. If you wanted, you could have added like an acapella to it, you know. Now the main focus is to get out and then bring in that new track. I got this one set up. Now listen to that vibe. Listen. Listen to that woo. Alright, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna move it forward, right? Remember, I'm gonna keep the momentum going for at least a couple times, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll switch it out. So after the next one, I'm gonna switch it out. See, there's no real dragging. guitar and the vocals. I'm out. I'm setting it up right now.
It's changing, the world is changing. What's changing, Lord, is changing.
I'm gonna move it up. Watch what I'm doing now.
That's right.
Let me get used to the new sound. Distractor. All right, and so from here you can take it any way you want to take it. You know what I'm saying to you? But it's like, especially when you're at a stage, you know what I'm saying? You want to be able to keep that vibe going, all right? So again, it's like, it's not to undermine any female DJ. It's not to undermine anything. It's just to say, yo, dude, like, just because you are like, you know, a big time DJ doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to carry the crowd, that you know what you're doing. Mixing two songs is entry level. Anybody can do it. It's what you do with that, how you program, how you understand the interdynamics, how you can carry that crowd. Look at every demographic and be like, I got you, I got you, I got you. Talk to the bartenders, I got you. I know somebody made a comment, be like, oh, don't worry about the bartenders. That's because you're into yourself. I know somebody said, oh, don't worry about the bartenders, it's about whatever. That's because you're right here. You're in this limited space, right? When I'm DJing, I'm thinking about everyone, because at the end of the day, when you're done, guess what? The bartenders are the ones who are talking to the manager and be like, yo, he's a good dude. You know, we need him, whatever, because they're going to be there. The bartenders, they're going to be there. DJ, your job is not always guaranteed. So you getting good with the bartenders and the bar bands, whatever, they talk because they're closely related to the music managers, to the bar managers, because they talk.
And that's the difference between somebody that's for themselves or somebody that's paying, that thinks about the people that, you know, get dressed and they, you know, they get dressed, get a ride, you know, they buy a ticket to come and see you, they drink up and all, they do that because you're there. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give them back your full performance, because that's what they pay for and that's what they expect. So, you know, that's what I look at. I look at not what record is hot. I look at who's playing the record.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying to you. So just be careful. Anyway, that's that tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's not to undermine anyone, but it's just to let people know that booth riders are in town. We're doing our thing and we're coming up. Doesn't matter about the subscribers and all that stuff and then the following and the likes and all that stuff. It's just that we're doing it because we're coming after you. Johnny Fontana, Half Amazing TV. We out.